Everyone had a question to answer in April 2026. Mona Kimura had gone 3-0 in Crush. Her clips had gone viral. 50 Cent had shared one. Combat sports media had spent 18 months arguing whether the sidekick gimmick would survive contact with a real, credentialed fighter. The promotion lined up the answer. Yoonji Choi, the reigning Max FC women's bantamweight champion out of Daegu's Fearless Gym in South Korea, with 19 professional fights, MMA experience under Deep Jewels and Shuto, and every reason to walk into Yoyogi National Stadium, second gymnasium, and end the Chun-Li circus on the biggest stage of Kimura's career. K1 itself called the matchup her acid test. Combat sports analysts were openly asking whether Kimura was a real fighter or a viral export. One outlet framed the night as the moment that would separate cheap viral attention from earned relevance. Across 9 minutes in Tokyo, Kimura answered every part of the question. Let's get into it. Mona Kimura was born on April 12, 2001. She started karate at 4 years old and won 7 consecutive JKJO All Japan Junior Karate Championships before she was out of grade school. She picked up boxing in 4th grade, won the JBC Junior Featherweight Championship in 2019, and represented Japan at the 2022 IBA Women's World Boxing Championships in Istanbul. She lost her opening bout there in the round of 32 to Italy's Irma Testa. She also entered the 2022 All Japan Women's Tournament that year and failed to win a match. 2 consecutive losses on the biggest stages of her amateur boxing career. By that point, plenty of people in Japanese combat sports were ready to write the whole project off. Instead, in April 2024, Kimura walked away from boxing entirely and joined K1 Gym Meguro Team Tiger to start training kickboxing from scratch. 7 months later, she made her professional debut. Less than 18 months after that, she was 3-0 in Crush, with a left straight KO of Ai Ogiwara, a unanimous decision over Yuka, and a doctor stoppage TKO of veteran Satoko Ozawa. 3 fights, 3 wins, 2 finishes inside 2.5 minutes. The viral clips followed. The criticism came right behind them. Choi was the test built to settle it. 19 pro fights to Kimura's 3, bantamweight champion in Korea's leading promotion, MMA experience in 2 of Japan's top women's organizations. She was older, more experienced, and stepping down from a heavier weight class to do it. The pre-fight framing made the stakes clear. K1 producer Genki Sudo was building 26 events around the promotion's new global strategy, and Kimura was being billed as a key figure in that push. If Choi exposed her, the whole project stalled. If Kimura passed the test, the K1 women's flyweight division had a new face. Yoyogi National Stadium, second gymnasium in Tokyo. April 11th, 2026. The cameras were on. The footage was about to outlive both fighters' careers. The opening bell told the entire story of the fight. Kimura, in southpaw stance and her trademark side-on karate posture, raised her right leg in the first 10 seconds of round 1 and barely put it back down for the next 9 minutes. Side kicks to the body, side kicks to the face, one after the other, chained together without ever lowering her foot, each one freezing Choi in place before she could close the distance. The Korean champion came in expecting to walk through the gimmick and pin the smaller woman down. The gimmick turned out to be the entire fight. Early in round 1, Kimura cracked a straight left through the middle and followed it with a head-height side kick that snapped Choi's head back and sent her tumbling to the canvas. K1 analyst Masato felt it could have been ruled a knockdown. The referee waved it off. Choi got back up, still down on the cards. Round 2, Choi tried to adjust. She started looping hooks to get past the lead leg, looking for any angle that put her inside the sidekicks range. Kimura had the answer ready. The Japanese kickboxer screened every entry with the same raised right leg, then answered with the left straight from a one-legged stance. The pattern was simple, almost surgical. Side kick to keep the distance, left straight to punish the closing attempt, side kick again to reset. Choi was a champion. She had 19 fights of experience to draw on. None of it gave her the answer for a fighter who would not put her foot down. By the end of round 2, the Korean's nose was bleeding and her output had collapsed. The crowd at Yoyogi was on her side at the start. By the middle of round 2, the Japanese fans were watching their new local hero shut out a foreign champion in real time. Round 3 was Kimura at the most relaxed she has ever looked in a professional fight. She kept the side kick up. She kept the left straight in her pocket. She picked her shots, refused to engage at any range Choi could win, and ran the clock down without ever losing the rhythm she set in the opening seconds. The final bell came with Choi still trying to find a way past the lead leg and Kimura still posting it in her face. All three judges scored the fight 30-27, wide unanimous decision. K1 debut. The acid test had ended in a shutout. The numbers tell the rest of the story. Kimura improved to 4-0 with 2 stoppages. She became the only fighter on K1's 2026 calendar to shut out a sitting champion from a different promotion across 3 rounds. The viral clip act was now the woman who took a Korean bantamweight champion with MMA experience under Deep Jewels and Shudo and gave her 3 rounds of punishment without losing a single round on any judge's card. The real-life Chun-Li tag had survived the test K1 designed to retire it. The Japanese kickboxer who had failed at the 2022 IBA Worlds and the 2022 All Japan Women's Tournament back-to-back, who had walked away from boxing in April 2024 to start kickboxing from zero, was now being talked about as the future of the K1 women's flyweight division on K1's own broadcast. Combat sports analysts who had spent 18 months questioning whether she was a real fighter spent the day after the fight asking which contender could even compete with her style. The story is now the gimmick. The sidekick that everyone said would not work against a real champion just shut out a real champion. Choi was the biggest opponent of Kimura's career on every measurable axis. Stage, title, resume, experience, cards on the line, outcome. The Korean walked into Yoyogi expecting to expose the viral export and walked out at the wrong end of a 30-27 unanimous decision with a bloodied nose and no answer for a foot she could not get past. Whoever K1 puts in front of Kimura next is going to walk into the same problem. The right leg is going to come up, the left straight is going to follow, and the fighter on the other side is going to spend 3 rounds chasing a foot that never comes down. Drop a comment. Who do you think K1 puts in front of Kimura next? And does anyone in the women's flyweight division have an answer for the sidekick? Hit like and subscribe for more breakdowns like this one. See you in the next fight.